Tonight on Fox Gordon, Ramsay's Masterchef returns with an all-new episode on Wednesday, July 19, 2023, Season 13, Episode 7 called Trial by Fire, Field Challenge, and we have your weekly Masterchef recap below. On tonight's Masterchef episode, as per the Havoc synopsis, the home chefs face their first team challenge when they're tasked with pairing up with another region and grilling a delicious meal for 101 firefighters and emergency personnel. So make sure to bookmark this spot and come back between 8 p.m., 9 p.m. ET for our MasterChef recap. While you wait for our recap, make sure to check out all our MasterChef videos, pics, news, and recaps right here. In tonight's MasterChef episode, it was the first team challenge of the season. The contestants were split into two teams, the red team and the blue team. The two teams were supposed to compete against each other in serving a large group of firefighters with the best dish. Whoever has the best dish wins the challenge. It was usually pretty clear-cut on the winner, and that wasn't the case tonight. Mistakes plagued both teams. Things were even off when they were selecting who would be on their team. The South went with the Midwest. The West went with the Northeast. Jennifer was the captain of the red team. Brynn was captain of the blue team. The Reds went with Jennifer because she was a mom of 6. They knew she could handle taking charge, as well as dealing with different temperaments. Jennifer also volunteered for the job. She told the judges that she wanted to show she could take leadership. The judges, however, theorized that Jennifer wanted another advantage. She won the last challenge, and they figured she wanted that immunity pin again. And while Jennifer wasn't someone they saw as taking charge, she did seem to have a handle on her kitchen at the start. Jennifer was running around everywhere, while Brynn was being more laid back. She took that same approach when they chose what they were going to prepare. She let everyone have their say, and it came back to bite her because they settled on pork chop. Ryan was put in charge of the grill. He was an experienced griller. He typically grills amongst the woods in the Northeast, and so grilling out in the open on a windy day was new for him. He felt he had to slow walk it. He ended up overdoing it. His pork chop was overcooked. The judges tested the starter plate, and they told Brynn to not let it get to 150 degrees inside the meat. They also gave her styling points on the plate. Brynn was a little combative. She wanted to do things stylistically to the point that she was skimping out on what was good about the plate. The judges corrected her. Then they went over to the red team. The red team also had stylish issues. They didn't serve the mashed potatoes with the steak properly. They tried to style it, and the firefighters were going to want more mashed potatoes. They want a healthy scoop. That is, if it's done correctly. What the judges tasted had been undercooked. Their first few dishes were sent back for being raw in the middle. Brynn should have told them to get to 140 degrees. She instead told them to aim for 135 or 130. The red team still had issues with their potatoes. If it wasn't undercooked, it wasn't smooth enough. There was always an issue. Grant really didn't want to go home because of mashed potatoes. Both Grant and Ryan got help from their own teammates. The red team's grilling station started to buckle in the middle. They tried to serve a raw steak and were stopped by Chef Ramsay. Ramsay got so mad that he threw the steak at their half of the wall. The red team started out so strong, and then they whittled away at their luck. They ran out of mashed potatoes. They started serving mushrooms. They also had several people complain about the steak being raw. The blue team was a hit or miss on their pork chop, only they couldn't finish serving the entire dining room because their timing was off. Brynn talked to her team afterwards. She claimed that the red team had extra hands, which they did. It just wasn't the reason why they were able to finish serving the dining room. The red team may have served everyone, but they ran out mashed potatoes. People are going to remember that, and so it was a toss-up on who won. The pork chop had better flavor. The steak had a better cook time. It ultimately came down to the firefighters. They voted, and the winner of tonight's team challenge was the red team. And they owe that win to Jennifer because she was a good captain. The bottom three from the blue team were Bryn, Ryan, and James. And it was Ryan who was eliminated tonight because he failed on the grilling.